The PRISM Awards for Excellence in Public Relations have just been concluded for another year, and one of the organisers, Bridget von Holdt, is with us to talk us through the power of public relations, but also about the standard and the quality of the awards this year. Welcome to you. I think before we talk about the awards, it's fair to say that public relations finally, after a long time, has kind of found its rightful place in the marketing mix. To what extent?
To a greater and greater extent, which makes me really comfortable that not only are the awards taking public relations to a higher standard, but also to a higher place in the boardroom. It's part of brand communication now. We're part of company reputation management, and it's regarded as one of the key elements in terms of brand building and reputation management. And of course, public relations has the credibility factor. So with the awards and with the kind of work that is being done by the public relations industry, we can safely say that public relations is right up there.
I suppose we could have a conversation about the importance and the need for reputation management in this country, but let's park that for another day, shall we? These days, though, what should companies be looking for from a PR agency?
Well, I think you have to have a track record. I think there are a lot of people that still go out into the public relations environment that don't have experience. They've come out of a company, perhaps a corporate or a consultancy environment, and go out on their own. But you need to have that track record, and the track record is not just about the clients that you've worked on, but it's the return on investment that you can actually prove that you're going to do well for that client, that the brand is actually going to benefit from the public relations person or the public relations company that you're working with. And of course, a company that's associated with a professional body, you then know that you're working with an ethical company.
I suppose the key challenge these days is to demonstrate that return on investment. That hasn't always been possible in the past in your industry, but there's so many more tools that enable you to do that these days.
Absolutely, and we work towards the Barcelona Declaration now, and that's a worldwide standard. So it's not those dreaded AVEs that we talk to, but we talk about meeting those objectives and the measurable objectives, and that needs to be set.
Bridget, the one point you didn't mention was the importance of strategic skill. No public relations agency worth its salt is going to be successful unless they can bring that to bear. That's often a deficit in your industry.
Yes, but I think that more and more of the education within our universities is giving us the skills that are coming through now. More of the senior practitioners are the strategic directors within the organizations. So it's not, just about the publicity. It's actually about getting the credibility associated with the product. It's about building the rapport with your stakeholders.
Let's talk a little about the PRISM Awards themselves. The quality and the level of entry in this year, you're going to say, is incrementally better than in previous years. And that's a good thing. Again, it demonstrates the fact that this discipline is starting to find its feet.
And in fact, a lot of the campaigns that we saw in this year were driven solely by public relations. It wasn't driven by the support of an advertising campaign or anything like that. It was actually, they were driven by public relations.
Is that a good or a bad thing necessarily?
I think it's a very good thing. It's positioning public relations right up there.
Precisely, but everyone's also talking about the importance of integrated marketing these days. You know, it all comes together in a seamless message, of which you are one part.
A key part, though, because of the impact that we have in the engagement with the customer. I think that is the important part.
So what was the significant difference between this year and last year in terms of the entries?
I think all of the campaigns are now including digital as part of the whole communication mix. And I think that was probably the most significant change in this year. In the past, it's sort of been 60%, but I think we're looking at almost 100% of the campaigns are driven not only by digital, but it's included and integrated into the campaign strategy.
Just finally, the PRISM Award itself, as recycled a question as this might sound, what does it actually mean to the winner? How do they use this?
They use it to market themselves. They use it to build their profile. They use it to build the work that they do. This is probably one of the most important building elements that they could think of as part of their career and as part of their company development.
Well, until 2017, thank you very much for joining us.
Our 20th year.